Welcome everyone to another episode of Slasher Scotty. I am your host, Scotty McCoy, and boy do I have a surprise for all of you. I have on Zoom with me right now Matt Anderson, and he is the director of Serious Profession and has some other things in the works that we're about to talk about as well, such as Heavy Duty Man and Terribly Awful. How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing well, Scotty. How you doing, man?
I am doing great. I am excited to have you on. I know this is your second time on the show. The first time was with Key 13 Film Partners. I had you on. Actually, the third time I have you on because I had
Yeah,
you on with Phobias and then the Key 13 Film Partners, and now I have you on with me, individually.
I know. It's great. I am so excited to finally get some one-on-one time with you. So,
Absolutely.
so this is a big treat for me.
That's awesome. So the first question, very basic, but for everybody to get to kind of know you a little bit, how did you get your start into filmmaking?
It was kind of just lucky happenstance. I was working on a show called Behind the Set, created by Rose Genevieve, which originally was a YouTube series, but then went on to Fairfax Public Access.
Okay.
And Rose Genevieve was doing an interview on a independent film, and they needed a cameraman and to help film the movie. And I came on board, and through that I met Matt Burns, and then Matt Burns introduced me to Craig, my production partner at Key 13.
Yeah.
And I worked on that, worked on a couple of other independent films, really got tapped into the community, met Mark Byrne. I was originally wanting to work on Bigfoot, but unfortunately, the other film I was working on overran that day, so I was not able to work with him. But I made up for that when he asked for our help on Remnants.
Okay.
And so I worked with him on Remnants, worked with him on Brazen Impact. So it's just really, if it hadn't been for Rose Genevieve's show Behind the Set, I wouldn't be here right now.
Right.
So I'm always indebted to her and all the hard work that she did. And, meeting Craig, meeting Tom
Yeah.
Toohey, which you've had on the show,
Yeah.
as well as Matt Burns, who you had on yesterday. And then,
Yeah.
a lot of the people you've interviewed from this area I've worked with at some point. So it's really that's how I got in. I
Nice.
had a friend who knew some people who took a chance on me. They liked what I
Yeah.
did, and it just kept growing from there.
That's awesome. And if Craig is watching this, which I'm sure he will be, just to let you know, I will be reaching out to you also to have you on for a solo interview. So I just wanted to let you know that. I was letting Matt know that before we started recording. So I just want to let you know I'll be reaching out to you then.
Oh yeah, he's once you get him going, he's really got a lot. I mean, the man is like an encyclopedia of horror and exploitation films. So
That's awesome.
really, you're gonna learn a lot. I've learned a lot from him,
Nice.
and it's part of how we bonded is over our shared loves of a couple of genres that overlap. So
Nice.
that's just that. That's how come Terribly Awful. It originally was just him, and then he
Right.
brought me on, and then but since then, I'm getting ready to do
Yeah.
season 4 here.
Nice. So speaking of terribly awful, as you mentioned, season 4 will be starting up with that. Can you tell us multiple things about it? What is terribly awful for those that don't know, and where can they watch it? And when will season 4 be live?
Okay, well, Terribly Awful is something that Craig created. So again, when you have him on the show, definitely talk to him about that.
Yeah.
Terribly Awful is a show that where we watch really bad movies. And originally, Craig was doing it by himself, which God bless him. That was an endurance trial, and he invited me for a couple of episodes on season 1, and we really gelled. And so for season 2, we started upping our game, and kind of adjusting the format a little bit. And then season 3, we really expanded the format. We started using the green screen and put us watching it similar in a way to MST3K. We sit there, we watch bad movies, and then after the end of the movie, we do a brief little review segment. And season 3 is, I think, really where we hit our stride.
Right.
And we're still always making tweaks. So, like, for example, season 4, because of our rather tight shooting schedule with all the things that we worked on, Serious Profession, Heavy Duty Man, a couple other things, we kind of changed the season 4 a little bit. This time we're doing a shorter season, only 8 episodes instead of 12.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be longer episodes, so that's the trade-off. Instead of under 30-minute episodes, they're going to be between 45 and 50-minute episodes, which gives a little bit more opportunity to watch us suffer through these movies.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also having a large number of guests. We're actually having 4, so there's going to be 4 of us for season 4 at a time watching these movies. So it's really should prove to be an interesting new version or updated version, but it's still going to have the same old goodness, the same suffering, ripping at the movies with the guests, and doing our review segments at the end. So we're really excited. It starts October 31st on Halloween, and on that day we will also be we have our first sponsor, which is Cinephoto's Heavy Duty Man. We're going to be showing the trailer, which is already out, but we're going to be showing that trailer as part of the episode as well for some cross-promotional synergy. So really excited. Season 4, it's going to be fantastic. We got Matt Burns and Moni Para from KOA, Mark Byrne and his wife Donna from Absurd Production Pictures, Rick Germain, who's in Serious Profession, Tom Toohey, who is a producer on Serious Profession, and Lori Havermail and Rob Gotcher from The Scene Snobs joining us as well. So it's going to be a really great season. And then we have 3 specials, well, actually 4 specials, 1 new special, and then 3 Redux episodes where we take classic episodes, the ones that were the most popular, and redo them similar to the way that we did, because originally they were from season 2, where we would cut back between the footage of the film and us yelling at the TV, and now we actually have it where it's like the season 3 and the season 4 where we're actually on the screen at the same time.
Nice.
They also will be longer episodes than the original, so you're going to see stuff that never made it to the original broadcast version. So it's really going to be a lot of fun. Everybody who watches an episode usually almost pees their pants because they are laughing so hard at watching us having a miserable yet totally hilarious time watching these things.
Right. So is this do you guys watch it like virtually? Are y'all in the same room, or?
No, we are all in the same room.
Okay.
We set up at Key 13 Studio here in Frederick.
Okay.
So that's one of the nice things about us, is that we can do green screen and set that up and all that. So that's really makes it easy
Awesome.
for us to do the screen behind us, or the image behind us. So we're watching it on a TV in front of us, and then when we edit the episode together, the video's behind us.
Okay.
Because we didn't want to go like it just the silhouette things. That's a little.
Right.
It's better. You got to see our reactions, because our reactions are part of what makes the hilarity. Especially you. You'll hear me talking about I'm about to have a heart attack, because you'll see me.
Yeah, I think you're back now.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, you're back.
I'm
now.
back. I was saying watching us is what part of the fun. So yeah, no, we are all in the studio at Key 13 Studio together.
Nice. That's awesome. So yeah, if for season 5, if you need somebody else, give me a shout out. I'd be more than happy to join you guys if you need anybody.
Absolutely. Well, we definitely, the only reason why we're using a lot of the same guests that we did last year.
Mhm.
It's a shortened season, and right now, most of those folks
Yeah.
are available. You're working on 72 right now,
Yep.
so your availability is very limited.
Yes.
So
Especially with my dad just passing away, I'm really commuting to and from Pennsylvania and Maryland now a lot more than I used to be. So,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
So, and I'm sorry about that, man. I
Yeah.
mean, I
Thanks.
know how tough it is.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to
Well, I'm
see.
glad that we did this interview because I know on today is 1 month since he passed, and I know you saw that post on Facebook. So I'm glad that we're able to do this interview because it really takes my mind off of that. You know what I mean? It makes me focus on something I love to do, and that's interview amazing people like yourself.
Oh, well, thank you, and I'm
No
glad
problem.
that it helps you out. I just want to. I always
Mhm.
like to make sure you're doing all right, because
Yeah.
losing a family member is one of the toughest things, and believe
It
me.
really is. It
Yeah.
really is, and it changes your life forever. And I guess one of the good things before we go into serious profession, one of the good things about the whole thing, if there is one, is that I've been emotionally eating a lot, which means that I'm able to keep my stature for heavy duty man.
All
So
right. Well,
speaking of heavy duty man, obviously it's co-starring myself and Jeremy Ogre Amos. Jeremy will be on the show at the end of the month, I believe.
yes.
Or yeah, I think it's the end of the month.
Yeah.
He'll be on, and we'll be talking about that heavily as well. But it's obviously going to be a fun film. It's Sin Photo likes to call fat exploitation.
Exploitation, yes, it is. And from what I've been able to do, I've done some research.
Mhm.
It is the first Fatsploitation film ever.
That's
There are
awesome.
no movies that are identified as Fatsploitation. Now, there are some that kind of like skirt the line.
Hmm.
There's one series, I forget the name of it, but they never were officially identified at that because they were
Hmm.
more still considered horror or something like
Right.
that. And then then you got movies like Shallow Hal and stuff like that, which really
Hmm.
aren't fat exploitation. I mean,
Right.
this is the first fat, overweight, heavy duty hero, as far as I can tell. I mean,
Nice.
there have been movies. There's Mr. No Legs, which is a movie about a guy with no legs.
Hmm.
So we've got amputee exploitation, but I don't think
Right.
we've ever had a fat exploitation. So the fact that that Heavy Duty Man looks to be the first, I mean, and then
Hmm.
if you haven't, if you get, I mean, I know you've seen the trailer a million
Yep.
times.
Yes, I
Uh,
have.
yeah, if you have not seen the
I love
trailer,
it.
that is it's just, it's so, I mean, if they ever had made a Grindhouse 2, we would be submitting that to be like Hobo with a Shotgun. Even when I was doing the voice, when I was doing it,
Excuse me.
um,
Sorry.
yeah, that's all right. When I was doing like all HD Mac wanted, I had, Hobo with a Shotgun playing in the back of my head. So,
Yep.
my God, I mean, it
Nice.
just, and the cast on it, you've had quite a few of them. You had Max, you
Yep.
had Max Morrison, you had Michael Taylor, you have
Yep.
Jeremy,
Yep.
you know,
Yep. I'm in discussions also with Ilya to have him on. I know he's been very busy lately, so we're trying to work out a date and time that works for both of us.
yeah, and
So
so
yep.
it's got a great cast.
Yeah.
Ilya and Max just ripping on it, and
Yep.
especially when you're doing the sit-ups, and then
Yep.
the towel scene,
Yep.
and of course Chris Ridings, your co-host on your upcoming show,
Yep.
and and then of course Russell Patrick,
Yep.
who played MD Geist, freaking hilarious.
Yes, he is.
It's
I would like
just,
to reach out to him as well to discuss
oh
this because
yeah,
I know we're going to get into the Indiegogo, and I really want to heavily promote that with a lot of the cast and hype it up.
oh yeah, and Russell is just a
Yeah.
fantastic guy. Cannot wait to work with anybody on the
Yep.
set. Loved working with Russell. Loved working with everybody. Everybody on the set was fantastic. Elizabeth Bridges, who
Yep.
came in to help us out, and she killed it. So I
Yep.
mean, really, I don't think I'm forgetting anybody. But
I don't think so.
yeah, but I mean, Amanda
Amanda and
Bennett.
yep.
Yeah, she was
Yep.
awesome. Of course, Carly
Yep.
Rosenthal, Craig's wife, and then Craig, I'm gonna piss on ya.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Oh my God,
That
it
was
was just.
hilarious.
If you people have not watched that trailer, please go. It's
Yes.
on YouTube. It's on. There's a sign up page. From you go to send a photo page on Facebook. There's a sign up page where you can sign up to get updated on when on funding and all that stuff. There's no funding campaign yet. It's just sign ups. You can watch the trailer. Have a great time watching that trailer. My God. And then when we film, which we're hoping to start sometime in the spring,
right?
You know, depending on everybody's schedule, you know, we're going to be right there with that. And believe me, if you love the cheesy one-liners that we had just for the proof of concept trailer, you're going to love the cheesy one-liners that Max is going to come up with for the actual full-length feature. And actually, there's Craig and Tom Toohey are actually helping write that.
Nice.
They're going to be like the lead writers on that, nice. And then taking what was originally done and expanding on it. So nice. It's going to be, you know, and Craig's an exploitation guru. So my nice. Goodness, I cannot wait, and I know you cannot wait. So I'm you know, really looking forward to.
Absolutely. So speaking of Heavy Duty Man, now like we pretty much talked about who's in it and everything. Can you tell us like a brief summary of what is this movie about? Because we know it's going to be that bad that it's good, but what is this movie about? Like, what is the premise of it?
Well, all H.D. Mack wanted was to get home without being hassled by gangs of skinny people in his town. No, basically it's about this lovable loser, little overweight, you know. H.D. Mack, he's you know, he's in love with the town. Well, for lack of a better term, resistance fighter named Bad Bertha, and he's just trying to make himself a better person so that he can be worthy of Bad Bertha's. Now she's a new character, which is going to be played by Heather Harlow. She wasn't in the original proof concept trailer because we kind of wanted to focus on some of the other aspects, but the character at least. But then we, you know, as we just worked on the script, we're going to bring in Heather, and she's totally game for it, and she's awesome. Definitely get her on because she's done a lot of.
I have been talking with her. I know we were scheduled. I did message her about, I think was it this past Monday, but something came up and she wasn't able to do it. So we're looking into October.
Okay, that's great. But anyway, so HD Mack is, but in this town, there's this gang of skinnies. That's what they're called, and there's also some weightlifters and evil Zumba instructors, as we call them. So poor HD Mack is getting hassled all this. So a mad scientist, takes pity on him and gives him a potion to drink, and he turns into Heavy Duty Man, and then he gets revenge on everybody that ever wronged him. I mean, very toxic Avenger, which was intentional. We love that movie. So obviously paying homage while still coming up with our own take on that kind of story. And then that's what it is. And then, so really, you know, the first act is going to be with you and your sad sack life, your character sad sack life. And then drinks the magic potion, and then all hell breaks loose. Nice. And that's what Heavy Duty Man is. And if you go in there looking to find great deep significance in the film like you would with Serious Profession, you're not going to with Heavy Duty Man. You're going to go in, you're going to have a balls to the wall fun, and you're going to leave going, that was the stupidest thing I ever saw. I absolutely loved watching it.
Yeah. And it was a lot of fun to film. It really was. It was really funny. If you haven't seen the trailer yet, like we said earlier, go to YouTube or whatever to look at the trailer, because you definitely want to see this. Like I said, don't expect like a oh, this is the best movie ever type of thing. Think of it as this is the worst movie I've ever seen that is that good.
Yep, yeah, and you know we're very much proud to be a part of the film
Yeah.
and working on it. So you know it's going to look terrible, but it's going to be intentionally looking terrible.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
not like Serious Profession, which we as a much more
Mhm.
polished and refined film. At least I like to think so. So
Absolutely. So the last thing about Heavy Duty Man I got is obviously we know there's going to be an Indiegogo campaign for it. So do you know when this Indiegogo campaign will go live? And can you explain to everyone why should they donate to this campaign?
okay, well, it's going to go live on 31st October, which is
Yeah,
also the premiere. Terribly Awful. That's
yeah,
why we're doing this kind of corporate synergy thing.
nice.
It's and why they should donate is because first of all, it's the first of its kind. It really is. I mean, I'm sure there may be some obscure film that I've never heard of that
Mhm.
maybe is considered a Fatsploitation. But I mean, just from the research that I've done so far, and it's been, I wouldn't say deep dive, but fairly, you know, at
Mhm.
least went 3 or 4 deep on Google.
Yeah.
Uh, um, there is no Fatsploitation film out there, and certainly. Um, it's it's a lot of fun. It's deliberately done in the old grindhouse style. It's a grindhouse film. It
Yeah.
really is. It's intended to be a grindhouse film.
Yeah.
It's just going to be so much fun, and investing in it, we're not asking for much. $500 really is $500
Right.
is really just to cover any incidental expenses that we may have and to cover the special effects. Because you know you got to make a movie like this. There got to be some blood. There got to be
Yes.
blood and
Of
guts and
course.
things, and of course, yeah, the explosions. You know, okay, they look incredibly cheesy. Again, the point and intention of
Right.
you know, we're not sitting there trying to say, oh, okay, well, this was an artistic choice. No, it was. The explosion is intentionally cheesy because we don't have money for real explosions,
Yep.
and it's a grindhouse, low budget, no budget grindhouse film. It's going to look cheesy. That's the whole point. But we still want to at least with the blood. We want. I don't want to do the CG blood thing. I love a good blood spurt like the rest
Yeah.
of us. So
I agree
that's
with that.
pretty much where most of that money is going to go for. It's just that and maybe the sandwich that gets stuffed down Ilya's throat if we wind up not using the footage we already shot of that.
Nice. That was awesome, by the way. I know I ducked out right after that because that was, I believe, the last thing you guys filmed. And I know right before that we filmed me getting spanked with those towels. And oh my gosh, Ilya got me so good that one time it hurt. You could
Oh
hear us. You
yeah,
could
yeah.
hear that crack.
You you got a little beat up on that set. There's
Yep.
and of course I remember one of the interviews you're talking about that picture of you of us standing over you,
Yep.
and you know, and it says when an actor forgets their lines, you got to take
Yep.
care of that shit. And so I know you got beat up. And you're such a good sport.
Yeah.
And just it was such a great fun working with you
Yeah.
for the first time.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, we are so looking forward to doing that with you again,
Yeah. I can't wait.
and all that. So yeah, we're really
Yeah.
hoping like March of next year is when we're looking at hopefully getting
Nice.
started, filming up the pieces that we haven't.
Right.
Um, but right now, we're just Tom and Craig are really working on the script
Mhm.
and creating, which I know something's going to be absolutely magical. And then after that, you know, after that, well, we're trying to figure out what our next plan is going to be. If
Nice.
it's really going to depend on how well Serious Profession or Heavy Duty Man or both
Mhm.
of them go as we do the rollouts on those. So it's
Nice.
it's going to be fun, man. It's going to
I'm
be next year's going
excited.
to be
I
fun.
can't wait. But now getting into some serious business. Like that
Yeah,
segue.
that's it. That's the way to do it, man.
So, for those unaware, what is Serious Profession about, and how did the idea of Serious Profession come to be?
Okay, let me change position here and get into my more theatrical thing. Serious Profession is a deep exploration. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. All right, Serious Profession is it's a gangster film, but it's not necessarily like Goodfellas kind of gangster
Right.
film. What it is, it's about two leg breakers, collectors, Mr. Kite and Mr. Win, and this is basically one day in their life. And Kite is the older, experienced member of the duo. He's been doing this for many, many years. And Win is newer to that particular organization, but he has a past. Both of them have a very deep past. And the story kind of looks at past, present, and future. It looks at who they are, in the present, what they do. It looks at the past, some of what affects them and has shaped who they are and their attitudes and views in life. And then the future really shows is the as towards the end what their paths are setting, the what they have experienced in their lives to set them on a path that leads to where they're going to wind up at some point later on. So there's it's got the on the surface it's a gangster film, but it's actually a look more at what makes a person, what makes them happy, what makes them go through the life and find the best ways to go through life, and how the past can affect it. So there's some deep themes in there as well, but it's still got interesting characters and a compelling story. So it's you're not going to be sitting. Hopefully, the audience will not be bored.
Right.
But
That's usually the goal of every movie when you're making a movie. You're aiming to write so you don't bore the audience.
Exactly. But there's plenty of action. There's some amazing acting. I mean, just the list. I mean, Brandon Marski, Kathy Saunders, Annalise Bergen, Emily Whitcomb, Lisa Spinagle, Seneca Lee, Renee Jelinas, and of course our two leads, Rick Germain and Bruce Elias Morris. Oh gosh, I'm worried that I'm going to forget so many. There's so many great people in this thing. Emily Flack, who's new, Mecca Verdell, Rowan, who's going to be on your show as well. Jesse L. Green, Jeremy Ogre Amos. Only no Ogre on this one. Ogre, he gets to be Ogre's on Heavy Duty Man. It's just Jeremy Amos and Serious Profession. We're keeping it classy there. But just gosh, I mean, I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. And David Drummond. David Drummond, Thais Lorenzo, Caitlin Deal. I mean, just outstanding performances by every single member of the cast. And we got a great cinematographer, Aaron Money. That's his name, Aaron Money. Great guy, fantastic, along with Anthony, his partner. The two of them are just making magic. So it's really going to be a great looking and entertaining film.
That's awesome. So for those that obviously we're going to discuss more about Serious Profession shortly with you and getting your take on it from a directorial aspect. If for those that want to hear from the actors aspect, I have 3 interviews online on this channel, on the YouTube channel or on Apple Podcasts and all the podcasts covered with Bruce and Rick solos. And then I have them both together. So definitely check those out as well, because you'll hear what it was like filming the movie and hearing it from the words of the actor outside of what you're going to hear now from the director.
Yeah, no, those guys, I mean, really, the movie would not be the movie without them.
Right.
And obviously, they're the lead actors. But no, seriously, even
Yeah.
just their performances are, these are definitely some of the best performances um, that I've seen from
Mhm.
them, as well as from everybody else in the cast. And I mean, I've seen some great performances from these folks, but I really am proud at the
Yeah.
great work that they've done on Serious Profession. I really think it's going to be good. And I mean, again, we've released the trailer,
Mhm.
and all the input from the trailer has been incredibly positive. And and the good news is there's a lot of people out there supporting it. We just hit 100% funding today.
And I was
Uh,
just, that was my next question was first of
yeah.
all, congratulations on meeting your Indiegogo goal. So I guess let's get right into that. Can people still donate, and what will the additional funds be used for?
Well, yes, you can still donate. We still got 19, well, at this point, probably 18 days left
Okay.
um, till the funding actually campaign ends. Now that we've met our goal, we should be able to go into in demand. Although I'm not entirely sure how that works. If it's 100% or it's got to be over a certain amount or something, I'm not
Right.
sure. But from what I understand, you hit your goal, you go into in demand if you opt in for it, which I
Mhm.
believe I did.
Right.
But yes, you can still donate. There's still plenty of places, not roles, perks open.
Right.
We have producer perks. We have posters. We have just added a whole slew of new
Right.
posters with actual images from the movie. Um, we've got, we are going to be offering some extra roles for the last two scenes that we have to film on the 25th. Um, but we're just working on getting the locations all shored up before we announce those. Um, so yeah, people will be able to come and donate. And if they don't want to use Indiegogo, because Indiegogo does take its little pound of
Mhm.
flesh, so to speak,
Yeah.
we will definitely take direct donations. And they can just contact us through the Key 13 or the Serious Profession Facebook pages,
Okay.
and we can certainly work arrangements for that if you don't want to give
Awesome.
Indiegogo there a little bit. But uh, uh, yeah, it's going to be going on for at least 18 more days, and then
You there? You there?
yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
You here?
Yeah. Now we're back.
Okay. Okay, as I was saying, when we started freezing, as I was saying, there's still, it's not over yet.
Mhm.
Even though we've hit our goal, it's not over yet. What the money is going to go for is some of it's going to go to anything that we go over is going to go to Andrew Stainer, our composer. He
Yeah.
is doing this free. He's
Mhm.
helped scoring the movie for free. This is his first movie score, and
Nice.
he's the one who did the music that you hear in the trailer.
Right.
And actually, the song itself is fantastic.
Mhm.
Um, we hope to release that one here a
Yeah.
little bit later on. Um, so some of it will go to that. Some of it will go to help us submit the film to film festivals. It's already won awards for screenwriting. It's won
Nice.
3 screenwriting awards, and we're hoping that we can um, get the actual finished movie to
Mhm.
some of the major film festivals. But that costs a decent amount of cash. Those are not
Mhm.
cheap.
Yeah.
And then some of it will go to cover some of the incidental expenses, pay for the editing, cover some of the expenses, like we had to buy a large hard drive to store all the footage, because it's filmed in 4K, so those are just massive
Yeah.
files.
Yeah.
But so right now, we're putting our own money into it, obviously, but if we go over, that money's not going to go into our pockets. It's actually going to go to other people that are working on this
Nice.
and help pay some of
Yeah.
that. So it's just because a campaign ends doesn't
Yeah.
mean you shouldn't keep funding it. Look at like Go Away. They were still doing it for months after.
Yeah.
And the way to always kind of look at it is the more money you get, the more options you have, the more
Right.
capability that you can do. And we've done an amazing work on what we've earned so far and what we've invested. And so, you can do it, but if you have that cushion where you have a little bit more, the margin for us, for any independent film, is incredible. It's razor thin. One bad day and your budget's gone. And while I know like Matt Burns, he's a firm believer, you don't need to spend a lot of money to make a film.
Right.
And he's right. You can make a film on nothing. But the more money you have, the more options you have, and the more you can handle unexpected delays or things that can just completely derail. We've had locations fall through. We've had people get sick. We've had anything that could go wrong has gone wrong. And fortunately we were able to adjust pretty well. As we like to say, we pivot. It's all about the pivot. But yeah, really, when you contribute to an Indiegogo campaign, most of those campaigns aren't looking to line their own pockets. They're looking to pay all the people that are involved and make the best possible product they can, so that when you spend that money on that DVD or that Blu-ray or that digital download, you're getting a quality product.
Absolutely.
And that's why I firmly believe that I support Indiegogo campaigns. Not much. I mean, I don't have a lot, obviously. Most of my money is going into the film I'm making now, but even I'm a firm believer $5 is more than enough, because that $5 covers a blood effect, or that $5 covers a prosthetic, or that $5 gives somebody a sandwich, or couple bags of Cheetos. I mean, just it contributes. It all contributes, and we support each other, and that's one thing that I've always tried to do, and I firmly believe in. And it's come back not because I expect it to, just because I've supported people and they've supported us. So it's that if you believe in karma, or if you believe in the interconnectivity of the universe, what you do, you can get back, and do it because it's the right thing to do, not because you expect anything. Moral dessert, as they call it. But
absolutely. So do you know if there is an estimated release date for Serious Profession, and if so, when will it be?
We're hoping for middle of next year. It's going to take us about 6 months to edit. There's a lot of footage and a lot of takes to look at. It's also got to be color graded, and then we got to have it all synced up with the orchestra, or not the orchestra, the soundtrack. And then of course we have to have all the producers look at it and give their inputs and their notes, and make adjustments. So we're hoping sometime middle of next year. But that date can shift, because we got to make sure, again, we want to make the best possible product we can, and that takes time. You can't rush. You just can't rush it. You can, but you get what as they say, you get what you pay for. You get when you rush. You can kind of short yourself a little bit, but also we don't want to takes so long that it's 2 years later and it's finally getting released. That's not feasible either. So
Exactly.
so we feel 6 months should be at a more an adequate time. And once we finish filming on the 25th and 26th of this month of September, we'll be able to. That's when we start going through the footage and picking out the best scenes and all that. So it's going to take time, but you're gonna really get a great looking movie and a great acted film and I think a well written film. But obviously, I'm the writer, so I'm biased.
Absolutely. So stay tuned for the Heavy Duty Man Indiegogo campaign. Donate if you can. If you can't afford to donate, then share it. It doesn't cost you to share it, and that way it can get your friends, and then maybe that can get a couple of donations for Heavy Duty Man. If you want to donate the Serious Profession, you can still donate to them as well. They have met their goal, but like we were saying earlier, it doesn't matter if they met their goal. You can still donate, and still help out, because that money can still help balance out what if something goes wrong and they run short, that extra funds can come in handy. Last question I got for you is, any projects other than Serious Professions and Terribly Awful, Heavy Duty Man, that you want to promote, that you have in the works? Any social media accounts for any of those sites or websites that you would like to promote for the viewing and listening audience?
Okay, all right, well, the only other big project that we have right now is our Elementals comic book fan project. Just released the episode 0. The first one. It's our first one where we actually did voice act. We had a lot of local actors do voice acting, and that project is available on YouTube and on our Key 13 Facebook page. And we, again, really talented cast: Rick Germain, Ilya Schroeder, Justin Martin, Chris Ridings, Yasmin Kuda, Amanda Lepore-Coyer, and quite a few other awesome folks came in, did the episodes. And so we're working on the next episode that hopefully will be released. Probably we'll get it finished and release it after Terribly Awful finishes. Nice. Since and then we'll probably have to go back. We'll need to go back to the recording studio and finish up the last couple of episodes. So but it really would like people to check it out. Tell us what you think. Let us know if you enjoyed it, because this was a really great learning opportunity for not only the actors but for us. Key 13 is the first time I've ever directed voice acting with Rick Germain, who is also an incredible. He's a sound mixer. He has his own studio, the Noise Pit, up in Randallstown. So that's the big project. And then Serious Profession movie on Facebook, our Key 13 page, our Phobias page, which unfortunately right now Phobias is on the back burner. It's going to get done. Don't get us wrong. It will get done. But it depends on quite a few other factors right now. But that page, Phobias movie, that page is up. Terribly Awful has its own Facebook page. But if trying to find all these different pages is just too much, which, believe me, I know it is. I hate having so many pages, but everything that you want to can be found on our website, www.key13film.com. It has links to every social media account that we have. It has links to Key 13 Studio. So if you ever need a studio to do, like, for green screens or to do a show, if you want to, with the backgrounds, or we do photos and headshots and all sorts of things, that link's on there as well. So there's so many everything you need is right there on www.key13film.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Matt, for joining me.
It was great. Yes. And next time I won't talk so much, and we can actually talk about directing. because directing, there's a lot I've learned about directing. I've directed short films, but directing a full-length feature came with its own challenges. So have me on again, and
Yeah,
we'll just
absolutely.
talk directing, and maybe bring a couple more directors in here.
Absolutely.
You're gonna really learn a lot about
Yeah.
the complexities. Being a director isn't just saying action. There's a lot of stuff you got to do. So, but also, so have me on again. We'll talk.
Absolutely, and I'll announce this for the first time. I know my movie 72 is still filming, but closer to either the premiere or something. I'm gonna have Matt here. We're gonna switch things around a little bit, and he's gonna be interviewing Slasher Scotty for 72. So we'll do that so we can hype up 72, and it'll be my first time being interviewed on my own show. So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, and I've got some hard-hitting questions. No softball questions for you, Slasher Scotty. I'm gonna hit you.
I don't expect the intro. Welcome.
I can't do that because last time, I told you one time you did that, and I was listening to it on headphones, and you blew out my eardrum. I don't have that ability. But yeah, man, I got some hard hitting questions for you. I'm gonna hit you harder than Ilya with a cow.
Ooh, that's gonna be tough.
But no, seriously though, I cannot wait to do that. It'll be nice to do the reverse interview with you.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about 72 because I'm really curious. And I know a lot of people are kind of curious about it. So let's make that happen, man. Let's figure out that date.
And I don't know when it'll be, probably not till next year sometime. I'm gonna be splitting up the cast of 72. I'm gonna probably have like maybe half of them on separate days, of course. I'm gonna have half of them on to interview them when we're promoting the premiere, and then I'll have the other half on when we're promoting the release.
All right. Well, just let me know, man. I'm here for you.
I definitely will. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thank you so much.
Right. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.